I remember visiting my brother as he was graduating from Cardiff University in Wales in 2012. During that time, our only source of entertainment used to be cable television and cinema halls. I was very curious during that same time on what cable television in the UK is like. Limited shows used to become standard features on Indian television, especially shows that used to run on the BBC. This is when my brother introduced me to absolute gems and classics from fictional shows in the form of Skins, The In-Betweeners, and The IT Crowd. I almost became addicted to reality TV from the country. Shows like Come Dine With Me, their own offshoot versions of the American Jersey Shore like the Newcastle Folk being their reckless selves in the Geordie Shore, and my favorite guilty pleasure, seeing privileged white people argue with one another in a show called Made in Chelsea that still produces the best memes on the internet. In all the fascination and love that I developed for content in the UK, I absolutely was engrossed in a show titled Dragon's Den. A show that started in 2005 and is still going strong. A show where entrepreneurs pitch ideas to venture capitalists termed as dragons for the show in order to invest in their potential profitable ideas on the basis of numerous fronts of their business. If all the investors reject the pitch, then it deems to be a failure. This show also is not unique in nature as it actually took the idea from a reality show from Japan that aired from 2001 to 2004 and was the first show of the country to focus on business investment. While I did not see the Japanese show, I was absolutely hooked with the format and execution of the UK version. Not only does the format of the show channelize energy towards your innovative and entrepreneurial mind, but also provided great insight on the do's and don'ts that should be at the back of any person's mind while pitching to individuals that can lend ample monetary aid and guidance. What drew me in especially was the dry humor, typical of British television, and the sheer range of ideas that would be pitched to the VCs ranging from absolutely absurd to revolutionary. I almost lost touch with the British show as I got introduced to the American version of the same format with Shark Tank USA. Irrespective of our thoughts of Americans and their presentation of bottom-of-the-barrel reality TV, when it is highbrow content in the same theme of reality TV, they know how to make it informative and entertaining. I was absolutely hooked. Everything from Mr. Wonderful's pompous but entertaining ways of striking a no-nonsense deal, Laurie leading by example and making sure people realize her numbers don't lie, Robert's charm and good nature that often makes him come across as a pushover through most of the deals, Mark Cuban and his predatory ways of sneaking through and wanting exactly what he wants, and to finally Barbara, and her bewildering reasons to be out of a deal. I remember one time her going out of a deal because the entrepreneur was too slick and had all the answers to the shark's questions. Other than Barbara being an interesting cookie, the show was entertaining and extremely addictive. Of course, with several facets that can be critiqued, but I'll reference that as I'll come to the reactions that were sprung out at the Indian version when it first came out. I often think we are so harsh towards our own products and have such a high regard for the same content being presented by the West that we often fail to understand that the same product is being presented in both cases, and sometimes we also did it better. Shark Tank India became available on the Sony platform, and immediately Twitter went up in arms, frothing in the mouth on the demeanor, body language, and diction of the sharks. Everything from the mood and language utilized by the sharks was being criticized as not being appropriate for the platform and not a courteous way to present oneself in front of budding entrepreneurs. एक saying है और वो हम Indians के लिए बहुत apt है कि अपनी मुर्गी दाल बराबर. The same thing, probably even more crude if said by Mark Cuban, looks cool, but our poor Ashneer with his smug attitude saying the same thing in Hindi becomes problematic. The double standard becomes apparent to me, and I realize that social media chatter does not identify the praiseworthy intention of the creators through this show. Shark Tank India presents the same format with sharks or venture capitalists that include Ashneer Grover, the co-founder of BharatPay, an individual who seems disinterested and almost arrogant but integrates the much-needed humor to the show and provides great business insight. An individual that grows on you over a period of time. Episode 14 and his comment on Sundar Nursery in Delhi will have you in splits. His clip is going viral of reprimanding an investor, multiple accounts of which you can see in various versions of Shark Tank in different languages. I find it funny that people are dismissing an entire show due to said argument. Vinita Singh, the co-founder of Sugar Cosmetics, and Namita Thapar, executive director of MKO Pharmaceuticals, who more than their business expertise and charm represent being inspirational figures in a country where women need people on a national platform to inculcate a sense of self-belief that they too can pursue entrepreneurship in a mostly conservative country restrictive of such dreams. Namita, while clearly having a soft corner for women entrepreneurs, really becomes a voice of reason when she feels that entrepreneurs are getting the short end of the stick. Anupam Mittal, founder and CEO of Shadi.com, often gets screwed over during deals but accounts for great banter amongst the cast. My favorite, however, Aman Gupta, the co-founder of Boat, while having an absolute ball on set, showcasing the most hilarious moments from the show, also provides great personal insight for budding individuals on the show. The show is a brilliant break from the dramatic crap we have been inundated with on Indian television, both in fiction as well as reality TV. I love the fact that the show gets straight to the point and doesn't unnecessarily divulge into too many camera effects and drama that actually take away from the core of the show. The show gets straight to the pitch meetings and adds the masala in the interaction more than anything else. There are a few sticking points regarding the show that definitely include the presence of an abundance of gold on the sets that can be a sore to the eye. I feel like Ranvijay as the host is quite the miscast, as we all know him as the roadies guy for over a decade. He has great personable skills, but it was quite hilarious to see him in this world as well. Lastly, and probably the most uncomfortable aspect of the show, includes the integration of sponsorships in the show, something almost absent in the international shows. I mean, it's quite hilarious if an entrepreneur lands a deal worth crores and Ranvijay tells me outside after I struck a deal that I've got a voucher from Flipkart or some random company has given me a free marketing course and I have to pretend to be excited. In defense of the show, also I have to say that everyone is talking about some of the dramatic moments of the show, where they do a backstory of the entrepreneurs or visuals of the sharks in their own home ground with their companies. It is as fake and formulated as the original ones. The same issues that I had with Kevin or Barbara pretending to meet people as if not doing terrible acting jobs is the same case in this show as well. What I love about Shark Tank India is that more than just showcasing pitches of great and sometimes absurd ideas, its aim is to educate the Indian masses on several aspects of business, entrepreneurship, and terminologies. They take time to break the fourth wall and educate the viewers and are inclusive, as these are Indian ideas and they do not represent just the Hindi language speaking people, making it an all-encompassing show rather than representing a specific demographic in India. I would urge all of you to look past the criticism and almost harsh takes on the show that you may have come across on Twitter or just on social media. Terming it as laughable content is reductive in nature. Of course, it is rough around the edges as it has just started, and I'm sure the product will get refined as the seasons get extended. This show not only educates but leads to the viewers actually learning something constructive, leading to productive application in their real life, an aspect that as a takeaway from Indian TV content is a rarity in this country. And that was a video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the show. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.